Yo, guys, welcome back in today. So today we're going to be talking about how to get a citizenship, or one of the ways you can get a citizenship in the country of Egypt, right? In North Africa. So a little bit of backstory. Egypt has been going through some problems economically, right? They have the Egyptian pound, which is the money, right? Which is the Egyptian pound. And so the Egyptian pound sort of kind of tanked at one point a couple years ago. And so with this tanking, a lot of things in Egypt are cheap, right? Or at least for foreigners. So like you could go to Egypt at some point, you can get maybe a Uber for less than $10. Maybe you can get a Coke or like a pop, right? Or like a Pepsi on the street, maybe for like 20 to 30 cents, something like that, maybe 20 to like 40 cents. So the Egyptian government is trying to form incentives for people to come to Egypt and actually to invest money into the Egyptian government. And so, if you guys don't know, Egypt is still a big middleman when it comes to trading, especially like from Middle Eastern or the Eastern world to like the Western world, especially when it comes to ships or like trade on boats, right? Or on big trade cruisers. And so this is a very important country. And so when it comes to actually getting your citizenship in Egypt, of course, there's possibly other ways, but a fast track way for somebody that might be doing business or somebody that might have money, you have a couple options, right? So Egypt has made it a little bit easier. It seems that Egypt needs money. The Egyptian government needs money. So one way you can fast track to getting Egyptian citizenship, if that's what you're looking for and you're in this type of money, class of money, is that you can actually buy properties that are owned by the government, specific properties that are owned by the Egyptian government that you can actually buy. So I think if you buy these properties in Egypt that are owned by the government, or more so, well, yes, owned by the government, but also they are going to allocate these properties out if you're willing to buy them, it's a minimal of 500,000 American dollars, right? So you have to spend 500 American dollars. You can buy a property or you can buy government land, but it all has to be allocated out by the government. It has to be owned by the government, whether it be a property or a land, and you have to spend $500,000 at the minimal. And once you spend $500,000, you obviously acquire that property and or land, and then you've gained your Egyptian citizenship. So that's one way. Another way is to invest into a bank. Now, I don't know exactly the amount that you have to invest in a bank. I think it was $750,000, American dollars, right? This is almost $1 million, guys. So this is for a select group of people in the whole world, not just in America, because like there's not that many millionaires and billionaires in America. So this is like the whole world. But $750,000, you have to leave it in the bank for 3 years. There's different terms. One is 3 years, and I think the other one is 5 years. And so obviously, once that money's in the bank is probably going to take some of that money, right? Just like most banks do. They take money in and they take people's money and they invest it. So that bank, Egyptian bank, will probably take that money and try to invest it and make more money, and then obviously try to lend out money to other people that are trying to borrow so they can make money off of interest. This is basically how banks make their money. And that's another way that you can get your Egyptian citizenship if you want to have $750,000 tied up for 3 to 5 years. That's another way you can get your Egyptian citizenship. Another way that you can get your Egyptian citizenship quickly, with haste and fast, is that you can invest $400,000 into a company that is in Egypt, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be owned by Egyptians, but it has to be based in Egypt. So you invest $400,000, and also you have to own 40% stake of that company. The only other thing is that the owners of the company, right? The other owners of the company, they have their autonomy. You don't really know who they are. So therefore, they have the legal right to go and start another company as well. So these are 3 ways that you can fast track yourself to getting a Egyptian citizenship quickly. And, this is probably not going to be for everybody. Everybody probably doesn't want to actually spend that kind of amount of money to actually get an Egyptian citizenship. But that's for a different class of people, right? It's definitely not my class of people, because I don't have just like almost $1 million just to like throw somewhere. But this is definitely for a certain class of people that want this citizenship quickly. Egypt is a very, very big market. If I'm correct, it's like the third biggest market in Africa. So it's a huge market. And if you're a business-minded person, you have the money, or if you're just a rich person in general, and like obviously I guess you would be doing that most of the time for money and business. But hey, you know, some people got different reasons why they want to go to a country and get citizenship quickly and hastily, right? It could be political stuff, it could be loss of home country. You just never know, like, right? Everybody doesn't live in countries that are always stable, and sometimes they're stable, sometimes they're just looking to do business. It's a big world out here, you know. There's a lot of different countries, a lot of different situations. There's even countries that I actually never even heard of that I'm learning this year, even though I felt like I know most countries around the world. There's some countries, especially in Eastern Europe, that I was just like, yo, like, what is this country? Are you guys like is this a Eurasian country? Are you guys like Asian, or are you European descent, or are you mixed together, right? So like a lot of those Kurdistan type countries, the countries that say like Stan or something like that in the back. I've been learning a lot about those countries and other Asian countries like Burma, or is it Myanmar now? Myanmar or Burma, one of the two, right? So Egypt has a big market, right? There's probably for the right person and a certain person in a certain sector or multiple sectors that understands the economy and how the government is and the laws, they could probably move and make a lot of money, and they could probably do a lot of things in Egypt, right? And so there's always going to be differences between citizens and people that are not citizens, and obviously there would be a reason why somebody would be trying to get their citizenship. But without that citizenship, of course, the people that live in Egypt that are citizens are going to be afforded certain rights that maybe a foreigner might not be afforded, even if you are of Egyptian descent and then you come back to Egypt, right? If you were born somewhere else. And so I just thought this was very interesting, you know, for this right person, for that person that wants to do business, for the person that is seeking a new country and they have that, you know, $250,000 American dollars, USD, just sitting around, right? Like burning a hole in their pocket, or they're trying to do something with it. Look, you can have citizenship to Egypt. And there's a huge market because obviously Egypt is in between the Middle East and obviously it's part of Africa, North Africa. So what do you guys think? Do you guys have $250,000 so you can get your Egyptian citizenship right now, you know? And if you do, share some with me, you know? Send it this way. Guys, like the video, please subscribe, turn on the bell notification. Please add me on all social medias, which is African Network, which is Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat. Yo, guys, until next time, peace, one love.